You only get so much time to get things done out in the fields, what with the weather being what it is, and well, you just plain need a tractor that ain't gonna break down on you. It's got to be rugged, you know?
You just can't afford to have a tractor give up on you when you're harvesting. You just better be able to take it and be one tough machine.
Ford LGT 145. I picked up this bad boy off Marketplace for like $100. This wasn't in too bad condition as far as I can tell. It seems like they've done some work to it before. You know, we're gonna get into it and see what we're working with. Lights work. I pulled the spark plug yesterday. There is spark, so electrically it seems fine. We're gonna mess with that starter a little bit see if we can fix it up. If not, we're gonna have to buy a new one. And if we're able to fix up the starter, then we'll move forward to the carburetor and figure out the whole fuel system. It's a pretty solid build. Tires flat. Let's get cooking on it. Starter was damaged. Yeah, it seems like it's just spinning freely. So charged the battery yesterday, should have some juice in it. See that? So has no oil whatsoever. Doesn't smell too bad. Engine isn't seized. Looks like it's turning over. Looks like we got some tools in here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the body. That bolt snapped. And that one's off. It seems like the only thing holding the body is these two bolts. I might have to pull that handle off. Alright, so I was able to take off the body. I had to take off the handles. I only had 2 bolts right here and 2 bolts on the other side. We're missing a bell, but I believe that belt's just for the mower. Like I said previously, I pulled the spark plug and there is spark coming from there. If you can see, looks like the starter is damaged. It's missing a bolt and I see a spring tucked in there, so I'm gonna take off the starter. So I was able to find a bolt and I threaded on the starter. I found a new spring as well. Now, moment of truth. There we go. Got it spinning. One problem down, on to the next. I pulled off the spark plug. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. There's no cracking or anything. I'm gonna just give it a quick clean and throw it back in there. Following everything I just said, I'm looking at the points and then there's not contact being made. So I sprayed a little bit of cleaner in there and I sanded the 2 contacts. Now if we crank it, theoretically there should be a spark.
2,000 years later.
I just wanted to go over what I've done. I replaced the ignition coil and the condenser. Following that, I adjusted the points. There's a little window down here and it has an S. And so you time it using that. It's on time. All these parts are new. Yet somehow I was not getting spark. So what I did was jump a cable from the battery into the ignition coil. From there I cranked it and then I got spark. When I did that, that told me that there was an issue before this point right here. So I went ahead and I started tracing the wires and I found the culprit. There's a bunch of cables and wires that were all torn apart and spliced together. They spliced it directly into the ignition. This was wrapped around here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out these lights later on, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rewire all of these cables in their correct spots. I think it's super interesting. I did a lot of research. From the ignition switch, power goes into the starter coil, and then from there it sends the power to the starter. At the same time, it's sending another current into the ignition. The ignition coil sends that power over to the points. Now the points, when they tick on and off, it sends the power back into the ignition coil, where the condenser then amplifies that voltage and it sends it shooting up into the spark plug. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire them into the ignition switch. I have the rebuild kit, so I'm gonna put the carburetor together. The whole idea right now is to get the tractor running, to verify that the transmission PTO, that it runs and drives. Those had reroute cables all over the place. I marked everything with what their respective thing is. I took the lights off the ignition just so we can test and make sure they're sparked. So after doing all the wiring, I figured out that the ignition switch is the wrong one. So I got the right one, non-magnetic. All right, so I put in the new ignition switch. I wired everything. I labeled all of the cables where they all pertain. So for now, I'll just leave that all crazy, but I plugged in the battery. Now the moment of truth, see if we have spark. And looks like we have spark. Bootyful, bootyful, bootyful. All right.
Don't forget, Mother's Day is this Sunday.
So we're good there.
3 days away, still have time to grab something for Mom. We are 106,000 of Colorado.
So I put the carburetor together the best I could. I've still a lot of rust in there, but I'm gonna just run it for now. If I need to buy a new one, that's fine. It shouldn't be a problem. They're only like 30 bucks. Alrighty, my friends, we're back. I believe this is day 3. Yesterday when I left, I finished putting together the carburetor and I bought a fuel filter, so I plugged that in. I filled it up with a little bit of gas. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but essentially I got the 3 bigs down. We have compression, we have spark, and now we have fuel. So hypothetically speaking, it should run. I put in another quart of oil yesterday and it all leaked out today. We'll give it a shot. We'll see what we're working with. If it doesn't work, then we keep on trying. All right, let's give it a shot. That's what I'm talking about. All right, I'm gonna strap down the fuel tank, disconnect the charger.
Performances and the largest day of giving in American history.
Join the nationwide celebration at
Damn it.
American.50. Chai! My butt hurts, man. So I got the lawnmower running. I think game plan right now, it's definitely going to need a new starter because it doesn't have enough juice to crank the engine. Following that, obviously the engine is leaking a lot, so we're going to have to replace that main seal in the back. And then we can go ahead. I don't know who threw their boots in the trash. Following that, we can tear apart the engine, start painting the frame. I have to power wash it because I don't know how far loaded it is, but following that we can paint all of that. I think this might be a new hobby of mine. I'm gonna start buying old tractors, fixing them up and flipping them. I'm probably gonna end up keeping this one. I mean, I only bought it for $100 and it's all there, so should be a fun project. Imagine just cruising around here with a little tractor. You go open up that gate and right. Ah!